It is time now for your business headlines. For a little help on this, let's bring back our Money Men business and markets analyst and NewsMax contributor, Seth Denson, and America's accounting professor of Montclair State University, Dan Geltrude. Gentlemen, welcome. Seth, I want to start with you. It has nothing to do with business, but it has to do with Dallas. Since you're from Texas, did you ever watch that show?
Oh yeah. Listen, my mother was a huge Dallas fan. I was a little young in those days, so it really didn't grab my attention. But they would scurry us off to bed so that Mom could watch Dallas. I think Dad was in the room. He probably wasn't paying much attention.
Yeah, it was almost like an evening soap opera from what I remember, like Dallas and Dynasty and all those shows in like the 80s and 70s.
Yeah, and a fun fact when you guys come to Texas, so the actual ranch where that was filmed is about 10 minutes that way.
We're going. Yeah. Pack your bags, Dan.
We'll have to make that a stop for sure.
Yes. All right, I want to get now to the markets. The markets closed this week as stocks struggle on Friday after Austria's COVID lockdown. But tech shares posted a winning week. The Dow dropping 268, NASDAQ adds 63, while the S&P 500 took a slight dip. Dan, should we expect the markets to keep, reacting to what's happening in Austria or other countries?
I don't think that's going to happen, Allie. I think the market, it has its blips. I don't anticipate a major correction right now based upon what we see on these potential shutdowns. Perhaps I know Seth feels a little different about adjustments to the market. I am still bullish.
All right, Seth, I'm going to get your reaction on that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm bullish right now, but I think that's going to change. Inflation is eventually going to hit the stock market. And I think that coming in 2022, we're going to need to see a correction because the market is overly inflated. There's absolutely no explanation why stocks continue to do so well with inflation as high as it is. And across the country, we're having across the globe, we're having economic challenges. So the market is defying gravity, but eventually gravity will set in.
Yeah.
Well, you know what the problem is here, Allie, is how do you time the market?
Right.
And we could certainly say, listen, at some point it's going to come down. But when?
Well, then there's the talk of inflation rates. I know you guys, are predicting or saying that it's just a matter of time. But let's talk about Kyle Rittenhouse for a little bit. The GoFundMe now allowing fundraisers for Kyle Rittenhouse after initially pulling down every fund for the teen. The site issuing a statement following the acquittal Friday, explaining that fundraisers for the teen are okay. So, Seth, there's other crowdfunding sources. Do you think that they're going to allow or stop? What do you think? Are they going to follow suit?
I think they probably follow suit here now. They've got to read their terms and conditions very carefully, and you got to know that the lawyers around Kyle Rittenhouse are geared up to get paid by suing companies that treat him differently than they treat anybody else because, quite frankly, he is now innocent effectively and cannot be tried again, and we must abide by the courts. So he's got to be treated the same. These other crowdfunding sites are probably going to have to do the same as GoFundMe did.
The question is here, Allie, are they going to treat everyone the same? And if they do, based upon their rules and regulations, I'm fine with it. But is he being treated differently than other people? And I think that's the issue here.
Yeah, that's what some people are saying. Disney also saying, so they say be our guests. They're welcoming guests and employees back to theme parks and aboard Disney cruise ships. Dan, so do you think it's a smart business move? Many companies, so they're basically saying, I think it's on the Disney cruise that you have to be, if you're 5 or older, you have to be vaccinated. They're mandating their employees be vaccinated. What do you think?
It's probably a good idea from a business standpoint, but I have never been for these vaccine mandates. So now, are we getting to the point, Allie, where employers are so desperate they're saying, listen, we have to hold back on these mandates because we can't lose any more employees?
Yeah, Seth, I mean, the Disney cruise, it's obviously a family-based vacation. I know a lot of families are hesitant about giving their kids a vaccine. Do you think that's going to affect maybe the Disney Cruise Line? I mean, they look, that is a price tag. I've been on it, and it's packed. Do you think people are going to say, forget it, we're not going on this?
Listen, fun fact, I was on a Disney cruise when the world shut down. So, but I felt like I was on the safest place on the planet because we'd already been on it for a number of days and nobody was sick. So I don't know. I think that this actually could play a different place on the cruise specifically, where people are not going to be eager to get on a cruise if they don't think that people are vaccinated. That might work to their advantage. The theme parks is a different story, but listen, between the cruises and the theme parks, it's only about 10% of Disney's revenue. So I think that they're going to be okay with regardless of what happens.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, Peter Buck, co-founder of Subway Sandwiches, he died on Thursday. But a true success story. Buck turned his initial $1,000 investment into $1 billion. With over 40,000 locations, Subway has the most locations of any restaurant in the world. Dan, pretty impressive. He turned $1,000 into $1 billion.
Yeah, you know what I say about that? What a country, Allie,
Yeah.
right? Where you can do something like that. Listen, Peter Buck worked very hard. He built something with the help of his partners, and you got to give him credit. He is a true American capitalist, and we should celebrate his life as
Hey,
such.
Allison, what I love about this story the most is that $1,000 was actually invested in his buddy who couldn't pay for college.
Really?
And so he said, hey, why don't you invest this $1,000 to go open a Subway shop? So doing good for someone else helped create, this fantastic organization
I
over
love
the years.
that.
I've eaten a lot of them.
That's
Seth is doing his part to support
Thanksgiving
Subway.
story. So speaking of investment, Seth, I know you're all about crypto, or you're very knowledgeable. You try and explain it to me all the time, and I don't understand. But a recent study by Engine Insights shows 59% of Gen Z investors believe that crypto will make them millionaires. Seth, what's your take? Is Gen Z optimistic or delusional?
Listen, these are the same people that think that they're living real life through avatars on video games. And so that's what I think Bitcoin is. Dan and I disagree on this. I am not in the crypto craze. I think there's just too many of them out there. There's more cryptocurrencies than there are countries, and they're not state-backed. When we get them regulated, I may jump on the train. But right now, I think we're chasing fool's gold.
Yeah, I think, that's the big thing, is getting them regulated. Dan, do you agree?
Well, I disagree a little bit here. I think that crypto is an investment that you have to take a look at. I mean, obviously, people are making a lot of money, and that's that shiny object. But if you're an informed investor, I think crypto should be part of your portfolio.
It's so confusing. People try and explain it to me all the time. All right. Well, Seth, Denson, Dan, Geltrude, thank you so much, and happy Thanksgiving to you if we don't see you.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving. Thankful for both of you guys.